بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، فكنترول تفسير السعدي عبد الرحمن بن ناصر السعدي رحمه الله، سورة الزمر. أفمن يتقي بوجهه سوء العذاب يوم القيامة وقيل للظالمين ذوقوا ما كنتم تكسبون كذب الذين من قبلهم فأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون فأذاقهم الله خزي في الحياة الدنيا والعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون. Is one who has nothing except his face to shield him from the terrible punishment on the day of resurrection, like one who is saved from that, and it will be said to the wrongdoers, taste the punishment for what you used to earn. Those who come before them also displeased, so the punishment came upon them from a direction they did not expect. As Allah gave them a taste of disgrace in this world, by the punishment of the hereafter is greater if only they knew. That is, they are equal. Aywa, this one whom Allah has guided and enabled him to follow the path that leads to paradise, and the one who will persist in his guidance and stubbornness until the day of resurrection. On that day, he will be faced with the immense punishment, and he will try to shield himself with his face, which is the noblest part of the body, and the least of punishment may have an impact on it. He will try to shield himself with it from a terrible punishment, because his hands and feet will be tied up, and it will be said to the wrongdoers who wrong themselves by disbelieving and sinning, by way of rebuking and chasing them, take the punishment of what used to earn. Those who came before them of the earlier nations also displayed, as these people displayed, so the punishment came upon them from a direction they did not expect. It came upon them at a time of illness at the beginning of the day, or when they were napping. Aywa. Thus, by means of that punishment, Allah gave them a taste of disgrace in this world, and they were exposed to shame and disgrace before Allah and before people. But the punishment of the hereafter is greater if only they knew. So let these people be aware of persisting in disbelief, lest there befall them the same punishment that befall the earlier people. وَلَقَدْ صَرَفْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَذَكَّرُونَ قرآن عربيا غير ذي عوج لعلهم يتقون. ضرب الله مثلا رجلا فيه شركاء متشاكسون ورجل سلام الرجل هل يستوون مثلا الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون إنك ميت وإنهم ميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة عند ربكم تختصمون. Verily we have presented to humankind in this Quran every kind of example, so they may pay heed. It's an Arabic Quran free of flaws and contradictions, so that they may guard against disbelief. Allah makes this comparison of a slave belonging to several partners who are at odds with one another, and a slave belonging entirely to one another. Are they equal when compared? Praise be to Allah, but most of them don't understand. You, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will surely die, and they too will die. Then on the day of resurrection, you will all dispute before your Lord. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives all kinds of examples in the Quran, examples of good people and evil people, and examples to explain information of His oneness and of the association of others with Him. Each example highlights and clarifies the reality and nature of things. The wisdom behind that is behind that is so that they may pay heed when we explain the truth, and thus they may learn and act accordingly. It is an Arabic Quran, that is, we have made it an Arabic Quran with clear wording, easy to understand, especially for the Arabs, free of flaws and contradiction. That is, it contains no flaws or shortcomings, whatever whether it is in its wording or in its meanings and ideas. This implies that it is perfectly balanced and straightforward. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says elsewhere, praise be to Allah who has sent down the book of his slave and has not allowed any crookedness therein, a book of an erring soundness, so that they may guard against disbelief and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He has made easy for them the path to piety based on sound belief and practices. By means of this straightforward Arabic Quran, in which Allah gives all kinds of examples, then He gives an example of comparison of the association of others with Him and the affirmation of His oneness. Allah makes this comparison as slave belonging to several partners who are at odds with one another. That is, his owners are many and do not agree on anything at all, so he cannot find any rest. Rather, they are at odds and arguing over him, and each one has demands that he wants the slave to do for him, but the others want something else. So what do you think of the situation of this slave whose owners are at odds with one another, and a slave belonging entirely to one another, to one master? That is, he belongs only to him, and knows what his master wants, so he is in a comfortable position. Are they, that is, these two slaves, equal when compared? They are not equal. Such is the polytheist who serves several partners who are at odds, yet with one another he calls upon one, then he calls upon another, and you see that he does not feel settled or at ease, and his other does not feel any comfort or any situation. In contrast, Allah has saved the monotheist who is sincere to his Lord alone from setting anyone with him, so he is completely at ease and is a very comfortable situation. So he is in a very comfortable situation. Are they equal when compared? Praise be to Allah, after showing truth as a distinct from falsehood and guiding for the ignorant. But most of them do not understand. You, O Muhammad, will surely die, and they too will die. That is, you will all eventually die. We do not grant everlasting life to any human being before you, O Muhammad. So if you die, will they the disbelievers live forever? Then on the day of resurrection, you will all dispute before your Lord with regards that concerning which you disputed in this world, and he will judge justly between you and will requite each of you for his deeds. Allah has kept account of it whilst they have forgotten it. فمن أظلم ممن كذب على الله وكذب بصدقه إذ جاءه أليس في جهنم مثوى للكافرين والذي جاء بصدق وصدق به أولئك هم المتقون لهم ما يشاءون عند ربهم ذلك جزاء المحسنين ليكفر الله عنهم أسوأ الذي عملوا ويجزيهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون. Who does greater wrong than he who tells the lies against Allah and rejects the truth when it comes to him? Is there not in hell an abode for the disbelievers? Those who proclaim the truth and believe in it, it is they who are the righteous. They will have all that they wish for with their Lord, such as the reward of those who do good, and Allah will absolve them of the worst of their deeds, and he will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala issues a warning, stating that no one does greater or worse wrong than he who tells lies against Allah by attributing to him that which does not benefit his majesty, or by claiming that to be a prophet, or by saying that Allah said such and such, or issued such and such a ruling, when that is not true. This is included in the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Say my Lord has only forbidden," and saying concerning Allah that of which you have no knowledge. Aywa. If one is ignorant, otherwise it is even worse and even more abhorrent, and rejects the truth when it comes to him. That is, no one does greater wrong than one to whom the truth comes, supported with the evidence, but he rejected. His rejection is greater wrongdoing on his part, because he has rejected the truth after it became clear. So if he combines telling lies against Allah with rejecting the truth, then this is wrongdoing upon wrongdoing. Is there not in hell an abode for the disbelievers, where scores will be settled with them, and all the dues of Allah will be taken from every wrongdoer and disbeliever? For associating others in worship with him is indeed grievous worshipping. Having mentioned the disbelieving liar and his sin and punishment, Allah now mentions the truthful believer and his reward. Those who present the truth in word and deed. These include the Prophet and those who follow in their footsteps, those who believe in what the Prophet ﷺ said relating from Allah and the rulings revealed from him, and are sincere and truthful in all that they do and say, and believe in it, that is, in the truth, because a person may proclaim the truth but not believe in it, because of his arrogance, or because he looks down on those who speak the truth and proclaim it. So it is essential to mention these two qualities together, namely proclaiming the truth and believing in it. Proclaiming the truth is indicative of knowledge and fair-mindedness, and believing in it is indicative of humility and the absence of arrogance. It is they, namely those who are enabled to combine these two qualities, who are the righteous. All the characteristics of piety and righteousness boil down to proclaiming the truth and believing in it. They will have all that they wish for with their Lord of reward, such as no eye has seen, no ear has heard, nor has it ever crossed the mind of a man. Anything that they want and wish for all kinds of relate and desirable things, they will attain it, and it will be ready and prepared for them. Such is the reward of those who do good, those who worship Allah as if they see him, for if they do not see him, verily he sees them. Those who do good and treat the slaves of Allah with kindness, and Allah will absolve them of the worst of their deeds, and he will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. People, these are one of the three things, either bad or good, or neither bad nor good. The latter category includes things that are permissible and are not subject to either reward or punishment. The bad category includes all sins, and the good category includes all acts of obedience and worship. On the basis of this explanation, we may understand the meanings of this verse, and that the words "and Allah will absolve them of the worst of their deeds" indicate that the worst they did was minor sins because of their doing of good and their fear of Allah, and He will surely grant them their reward according to the best of their deeds. That is because of all their good deeds. Verily Allah does not wrong anyone by as such as the weight of a speck of a dust. And if there is a good deed, Allah will multiply it and give an immense reward of His own. أليس الله بكاف عبده يوافقك بالذين من دونه ومن يضلل فما له من هاد ومن يهد الله فما له من مضل وليس الله بذي انتقام. Aywa, it is not Allah sufficient for His slave, yet they try to frighten you with those who they worship besides Him. Whoever Allah has caused to go astray, no one can guide. Awo. And whoever Allah guides, no one can cause to go astray. It is not Allah Almighty and an avenger. It is not Allah sufficient for His slave, that is, it is not part of His generosity, kindness, and care of His slave, who is carrying out his duties as a slave of Allah, complying with His commands and heeding His prohibitions, especially the most perfect of humankind, in servitude to His Lord, namely Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah will suffice him in all affairs, both religious and worldly, and will reward from him anyone who intends ill towards him. Aww. Yet they try to frighten you with those whom they worship besides Him, namely the idols and rivals, saying that they will harm you. This stems from their misguidance and error. Whoever Allah has caused to go astray, no one can guide, and whoever Allah guides, no one can cause to go astray. For it is He in whose hand is the power to guide or leave astray. Whatever will happen and whatever He does not will do not happen. It is not Allah Almighty. To Him belongs perfect might by which He has built all things. By His might He suffices His slaves and wards off the schemes of disbelievers against Him, and avenger whoever disobeys Him, let them beware of incurring His vengeance. ولئن سألتم من خلق السماوات والأرض خلقهن الله ولفرأيتم ما دون من دون الله نادى الله بدون هنا كاشف دره ولدن برحمة الهن مسكات من رحمتي ولسبي الله عليه يتوكل متوكلون. If you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they will surely say, Allah. Say, tell me about those on whom you call besides Allah. If Allah wills that some adversity should befall me, can they relieve that adversity? Or if He wills that mercy should be bestowed on me, could they withhold His mercy? Say, Allah is sufficient for me. In Him let all the trust put their trust. That is, if you ask these misguided people who are trying to frighten you with those to whom they worship besides Him, and you establish proof against them that is very clear to them, then ask them who created the heavens and the earth. They will not say that their gods created anything. They will surely say, Allah is the one who created them alone. Say to them, affirming the purpose of their gods, as their power of Allah has become clear. Tell me about those on whom you call besides Allah. If Allah wills that some adversity, that is some harm, no matter what it is, should befall me, can they relieve that adversity? By removing it altogether or reducing it somewhat, or if he wills that mercy should be stored upon me, that will bring me some benefit in my religious and worldly affairs. Could they withhold His mercy and prevent it from reaching me? They will say that they cannot relieve adversity or withhold mercy. So tell them, after definitive proof has become clear that Allah alone is deserving of worship and that He alone is the creator of all creatures, that the only one who can bestow benefit or cause harm, and all the others are incapable in all aspects of creating, benefiting or harming, and ask Him to suffice you and to protect you against their harm. Say, Allah is sufficient for me. In Him let all that trust put their trust. That is, rely on Him to bring that which is in their best interest and ward off that which is harmful to them. The only one who could take care of me in the fullest sense is the sufficient for me and will suffice me with regard to that which concerns me and that which does not concern me. قل يا قوم اعملوا على ما كنت إني أمن فسوف تعلمون من يأتي عذاب يخزي ويهل عليه عذاب مقيم. Say, O my people, carry on as you are, so will I. You will come to know. who will receive a punishment that will disgrace him, and upon whom will descend an everlasting punishment. I say to them, O Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O my people, carry on as you are. That is, carry on in the way you are pleased with for yourself, of worshipping that which is not deserving of worship at all, and has no control over anything. And so will I. That is, I will persist on the same path to which I am calling you, the path of devoting worship to Allah alone, subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will come to know who will have the best and you who will receive the punishment that will disgrace him in this world, and upon whom will descend in the hereafter an everlasting punishment that will never leave him and will never cease. This is a serious threat to them, for they know that they are deserving of eternal punishment, but wrongdoing and stubbornness prevent